My name is Sheldon Rampton. I currently work as a site reliability engineer for Granicus, a company that provides digital engagement services to government agencies. I've worked in a variety of capacities over the years. I was a WCCN staff person at one point, working on the Loan Fund project, and I've also worked as a research director for a nonprofit organization, and I've been a journalist and a typesetter, and I had my own software company for a while. Happened to interview Doug LaFollette, the Wisconsin Secretary of State. He was traveling around the state with his wife, Marette Seerig, who was WCCN's first executive director. The two of them and some other people had started an organization that at that time was called the Wisconsin Coordinating Council on Nicaragua. And this was the 1980s, and a number of people, myself included, were very concerned about the Reagan administration's military interventions in Central America, including what was then a covert war, the Contra War in Nicaragua. Fast forward about 6 months later, I left the newspaper and decided to move to Madison, and I found a temp job, and it had me doing data entry at the Secretary of State's office. So I was working in Doug LaFollette's office as a temp employee, and I found a moment to introduce myself and say, hey, I interviewed you a while ago, and we got to talking, and he invited me to get involved with WCCN. I became the editor of the WCCN newsletter and participated in various activities. And then that led to several trips to Nicaragua. I ended up researching and writing a book titled Friends Indeed, the story of U.S. Nicaragua sister cities. Throughout the 1980s, a lot of our focus was on anti-war activities and sort of relief. We raised money and medical supplies and sent them to health clinics, and we supplied an orphanage, and we provide hurricane relief after a devastating hurricane struck Nicaragua in the late 80s. And then, of course, the war ended in 1990, and WCCN asked ourselves, what relationship should we have with Nicaragua now? And we decided that the country, although the war was over, was in ruins economically, and we wanted to work on economic development. Back when we were first starting the Loan Fund, before we knew that we were going to do microfinance investing, we did a trade and investment study tour where a number of people visited Nicaragua and visited with various groups. It was a hot day, and we'd been trekking around, and we were all really thirsty, and when we knocked on the door to meet these people who were living in circumstances of poverty that we were certainly not used to living in back in the United States. And the first thing they did when they saw us and that we were thirsty was they offered us oranges. And we were so touched by that. What microfinance does is it helps the borrowers start a small enterprise or grow whatever enterprise they're running, and budgeting and planning and economic development starts to happen when you do that. I think over the years, WCCN has developed into a very efficient, skilled organization with talented people who make sure that things are run well, and that impresses me as much as the organization's charitable mission.